Recording, it says. There it says it. Okay. First thing, I'm going to go to a Skid Row thing. This is part 2. But I just want to play this little bit of his video, but it did piss me the fuck off. So, you know, I should say something to piss me off. Yeah, it says Skid Row Radio, assuming. Should be anyway. So here we go.
Whatever they are, that kind of thing. Gary, if you want a better reaction on that show, if you want a more productive guest appearance on that show, 2 things you got to do in the future. The first, don't let them wind you up, right? You got really wound up to what?
Yeah, okay. You know what? Fuck you. Really. I didn't get really wound up. I took the whole show really passively. And took their bullshit distractions. We couldn't really get on the subject. I'm trying to get on the subject. Then they just basically were going to cut me the fuck off. I'm done on the show. And then I said, fuck you guys suck. That's not exactly wound up. But whatever. Fuck you, alright? I don't need your goddamn fucking advice. Ugh. I mean, you can't make a video that's not a piece of shit, and you're going to tell me what I should have done. Well, maybe you should go on the fucking show and show everybody how to do it. Thanks, but no thank you. I'm so sick of this backseat driving shit from these people. God fucking damn. I mean, I've had the same personality the entire time I've been on goddamn YouTube. And these fuckers think, oh, Gary, here's some advice. Change your fundamental personality. No. Fuck you. I didn't do anything wrong in that appearance. In this appearance, I did nothing wrong. I made cogent remarks. I counter-argued. Okay, I made analogies and metaphors that were totally appropriate. I didn't make any comments about their preposterous stupidity anywhere in the video until the end, when I just basically said, you guys fucking suck. Because they suck. They do. I mean, they think somebody should be in a dungeon for 2 marijuana cigarettes. They think it's okay. It's their silly law. They're entitled to throw people in dungeons for nothing. I frankly, I was to sit there to find something irrational, kind of punishment. I don't know, 12 years in prison for marijuana, or burned at the stake because people think I'm demonic. Which one do I think is a more reasonable thing to do? I think it's probably more reasonable to think I'm demonic. It's probably a more reasonable perception than the perception that somebody smoking a joint in their own fucking house deserves to be in prison for 12 years. Fucking idiots. Alright, anyway, let's proceed.
Have a death sentence for jaywalking. Obviously, everybody's going to be sucked in by, oh, they never enforced the law, it's okay to jaywalk, I'm going to be lucky. Everybody's going to think they're lucky. When everybody speeds, you know speeding is wrong, you know it's jeopardizing your life, but you still do it because you think, I'm going to get away with it. It's human nature.
Just out of interest, would you draw the line with just marijuana, or would you include other drugs like LSD and cocaine in there?
Okay, so just out of interest, would you draw the line? I mean, so these are people that are talking like they never even heard of the drug war, that they've never even heard of the politics around the drug war, that they never even contemplated like what you would do to people. Let's say if we got rid of a drug war, maybe had mandatory drug treatment for some individuals, and obviously some people, because of their contract, you know, they have a job contract that required them not to use drugs because they could never be trusted, you know, in terms of hangovers and all that kind of crap. So, I mean, obviously we would work out these details. Like, and somehow he doesn't know what LSD is or cocaine or meth, and he doesn't know that they do fit into different categories and that some drugs are a lot more dangerous, but never would you sit there and put the users of the drug in a dungeon. They're not exploiting somebody. They're not even as guilty as a man going to a prostitute, in my opinion. Okay, I mean, they're really not. They're not exploiting somebody overtly. they're only doing damage potentially to themselves. I mean, fuck you people. This is retarded.
For possession, I would draw the line for possession of all these drugs that American citizens, civilized human beings, do not go to dungeons for possession or use of these drugs. For trafficking is another issue because you are exploiting people, you're taking money.
So that I can't even finish the point, you know, but I mean, yeah, clearly there's a clear distinction between possession and selling, right, for profit. Clearly these are different activities, very different activities. And this isn't that hard to figure out, that maybe your laws for trafficking should be distinctly different than your laws for just using.
Well, would you not want...
I mean, it's like there's somebody who makes child pornography and somebody watching child pornography, right? I mean, yeah, the watcher is a stupid asshole because, you know, especially if he's paying into the system, and so he's sort of encouraging people to make this shit, okay? But again, I'm going to make the argument that you go to the people who make it. Those are the people you crucify. You don't fucking put a man in 12 years of prison for 2 marijuana joints. I have to say this to atheists, progressives, liberals. Oh, fuck you people.
Relations with political relations with a country that, say, has criminalized the ownership of cocaine.
I mean, even the way... I mean, can you be more of a dork? Who the fuck says the ownership of cocaine? And so, you know, I tried to figure out what he was saying. I mean, I didn't know what ownership exactly meant. Yeah, I own some cocaine. I just have it on the shelf. You know, I own some. It's for future investments. It's an investment. You know, it's, yeah, it'll go up in price. Yeah. Like my cocaine portfolio.
Criminalize the possession of cocaine or trafficking. Again, I'm for. I'm saying that you can hold a foreign national.
I mean, I was really clear. You know, I mean, I see a distinction between dealing drugs in a foreign country, which is really disrespectful to that country, and just buying a couple of joints for the weekend.
You know, when they've done a real crime against your country. What I'm saying is somebody smoking 2 joints in their house, okay, is not a crime sufficient for you to persecute a civilized human being from a civilized country. You have to give them back to the country, okay, and let that country deal with that. But that's not it's not enough of a crime. I mean, I don't want to have...
Okay, so let's say, you know, I said this in my video today, but I'll just, you know, make another analogy. Let's say we pass a law that says anybody caught eating a dog or a cat in our country will go to jail for 12 years. You know, the worst jail possible, okay? Just the worst. We'll find the worst jail in the country and throw them in that shithole, okay? Now, it would be a ludicrous punishment by proportion. Just pretty much insane, right? We'd be guilty of an insane law. And it wouldn't make any sense for us to say, oh, wait a minute, if somebody's from a foreign country, this is their custom, you know, maybe we shouldn't treat it like they just committed the worst crime in the universe. Maybe we shouldn't be treating them worse than we treat people for drunk driving. Fuck.
This frustrates me no end.
I disagree with you.
So there, I'm demonstrating, okay, I'm putting up with their shit. I've just pointed out how I'm frustrated. So again, how did they wind me up here? Okay, I mean, I'm taking this inane nonsense. They're forcing me to argue drug laws when I'm talking about a man in a fucking dungeon for smoking 2 joints. And they've got me wasting my time talking about distinctions between cocaine and methamphetamine and all this other bullshit.
If you commit a crime in a country, it becomes, that is the society, if you like, that you've transgressed. I don't think that you then hand people back to another country to have their punishment.
Well, I think...
Okay, so I'll probably make the same point I'm going to make now, but yeah, you know the answer to this, right? I mean, it's just silly. there's some kind of real crime where you've done real damage to somebody, you commit murder or rape, yeah, the country has a right to make sure your punishment is sufficient. All right? But we're not talking about those kind of crimes. We're talking about vice crimes.
For vice crime, I think that is totally appropriate. I don't think vice crime should be international, and especially when it's religiously based. I mean, this is an Islamic, not dictatorship, but an Islamic democracy. They've chosen to be this way, and they're applying religious law to people. And I'm saying, and I'm going to make the argument, look, they don't have 4 million people in jail. Obviously, they don't enforce this law very often, or they'd have more people in jail than we do. They have a population of 250 million people, okay, and they don't have anywhere near the number of people we have in jail. So what I'm saying is there's all kinds of opportunity for this law to be abused, for them to persecute people with this law by their choice. And what I'm saying is the fact that this guy is an outspoken atheist, the fact that he was an outspoken anti-religious, anti-natalist, might have something to do, and the fact that he doesn't work for Nike, he doesn't work for a big corporation, so he's not going to be protected by Nike, this might have everything to do with why this individual was chosen for this prosecution.
It may do, but I don't think we can say for certain that it did. But just, again, going back to a more general point.
Well, it may, right? So DPR Jones says, yeah, it may, but I don't think we can say for certain. Well, I didn't say for certain. I said it may. All right? That's what I said. All right? And I think it's a very legitimate point. Don't you think we should have an answer to that question? Should you just leave it open? What if it's the truth, that he was entrapped, okay, that they did deliberately profile him for persecution under this law? Is your opinion changed then? Would you give a fuck then? Would you at least, in your stinking lousy video that you posted at the Magic Sandwich Show, I did send you the link to the petition. You could have at least posted that in the description of the video. I mean, you know, your double standards are showing. So what? You don't have to have an answer to the May question. You'll just leave it open and say, well, we don't have to know the truth. We don't have to know whether it's entrapment or not. They're not going to let us know, you know that. You know Indonesia's not going to let the press watch the trial. You know that's true, right? There's not going to be anybody at the trial.
One of the things that you referred to was the conditions in which he was being incarcerated. I presume that you accept there are occasions when people should be incarcerated. Is it? And I know that it's not quite on.
Well, I mean, gee. So now you see another huge distraction. Now I have to explain that yes, I think murder and rapists and thieves and crooks and all kinds of other bad people should be incarcerated as a deterrent to bad behavior. Yes. Duh. Now I'm going to have to explain that? Fuck. I mean, you're talking about one crime and one preposterously excessive penalty for it. That's the subject. The subject is decent people being put in crazily horrible prisons for nothing.
Well, you're happy with incarceration provided they're treated with dignity?
Well, I think that's a first case rule. That's the reason right there not to have diplomatic relations with a country, right? These prisoners in this country are treated worse than the worst prisoner of war camps. Okay?
Guantanamo Bay?
Okay, so now he's going to sit there and turn it to Guantanamo Bay, like I'm a defender of Guantanamo Bay. So now I have to defend that evil. So I could say to him when he does his little Doctors Without Borders crap, I'll wait for his marathon, then I'll just make videos talking about his hypocrisy, right? Because I should say, well, what about all the British citizens who aren't getting this and aren't getting that and aren't getting this from your healthcare system? What about those people that aren't getting drugs and they can't afford their drugs because everybody's wasting all this money on these foreign doctors to go over and help the Islamabad motherfucking cunts have more babies and shit? I mean, why the fuck should we give a fuck about these goddamn cunts when they're actually protesting in the streets because they want to kill people for being atheists? And we should say, yeah, doctors, go over there and help those poor slobs out. We know that most poor people are religious kooks, right? You can figure that much out, right? That poverty and religious kookery go together, And most of the religious kooks are Mohammedite, insane fuckwits. So why should anybody give money to them before they give money to their own fucking citizens, DPR Jones? Why don't you clean up your own fucking house, cunt bag, before you sit there and you give me this bullshit because I'm trying to get a man out of prison for smoking a joint, you fucking cunt. I mean, Jesus Christ, people shouldn't be in prison for smoking a joint. You can't understand that? Fucking dumb cunts. And that, well, no, I said it twice in the video. I shouldn't say it again, right? I mean, really, Indonesia's not going to change unless we encourage them to change or punish them for not changing.
Yeah, yes, I'd say it's equal to that. They're not given clean water. They're not given utensils to eat with. They have to eat with their hands. They're in cells with up to 25 people in them.
Should any country have diplomatic relations with the United States when it still has Guantanamo Bay open, where it tortures?
Right. Okay. Again, so I have to defend Guantanamo Bay, something I didn't vote for. I didn't vote for Bush. I didn't vote for the fucking revenge war. There's not much more I can do but say, yeah, that's wrong. I didn't vote for it. I protested it. I did protest it. I did write on message boards all kinds of crap saying, let's not do this, let's not go to war. I did do all that shit, alright? So again, it's not mine to defend, and I would say that if there was a country out there like Germany that has a really nice constitution, and they said, yeah, we really don't want to be part of this crap, and we're going to cut off relations with the United States until it gives back people their citizens, their humanity, turns them back into world citizens at minimum. Human beings, okay, and that human beings can't be violated in this way. Yeah, I'd be damn proud of Germany if they'd say, yes, we're not going to have relations with you. Unfortunately, I can't say it about Britain because Britain went along with it, okay? You're just feeding off of it. You just basically said, yeah, throw the nutballs over there in Guantanamo Bay. We endorse it. So you endorsed it, shithead, so you're just as guilty. I mean, fuck you, cunt.
I'm not going to defend wrong with wrong. Okay, the fact that the United States government has been an asshole and bailed out of the Geneva Conventions and played this game of creating non-citizens, I think is equally wrong. I think we should be bombed for it or droned for it, all right? Whatever penalty you want to impose on us for it, I think it's absolutely wrong. And I think a country who's civilized should say, we won't have diplomatic relations with you if you're going to treat people like that. But I'll also make the argument to you that I'm quite...
Yeah, okay, so there. I don't think there's anything outrageous about that statement. I did say it kind of angrily because I'm angry that I'm being forced to defend something that's irrelevant to the subject. The subject is, should countries that have civilized imprisonment and criminality policies have open relationships, open borders essentially, with no protection anyway, no protection against abuse, with countries that may annihilate their citizens when they go there. And I think civilized countries should protect their citizens.
Quite confident that everybody we have in prison is treated well, and in most cases they belong there. Okay, this guy is in a dungeon, the worst prisons in the world, for 2 marijuana joints. I'm saying that's not acceptable. There's no way you can contrive this person into enough of a criminal.
I mean, really, there's no way you can contrive this person into enough of a criminal. There's no simpler statement. It's been stated. If you think it's okay that on planet Earth right now we're just going to accept that people be thrown in a dungeon for smoking weed in their own house, then yeah, all I can say to you is I can't wait till something falls on you. Some accident happens, you get drunk, you make a mistake, and I hope the book falls on you as hard as it can possibly fall. I hope you're ruined and destroyed as bad as it could possibly get. What else can I do but hope that you get the world you deserve, that you get to feel what you're imposing on somebody else with your goddamn mocking ridicule. They made a mistake. They knew better. Fuck them. No, fuck you.
Gary, at least he was charged and convicted by a court process.
Well, he hasn't.
At least he was charged and convicted by what? An honest court in Indonesia. They don't have jury trials, newsflash. Okay? Some fucking religious hierarchy decides that you violated God's will. God, come on. Well, I mean, DPR Jones, that was another way overstepping your bounds. You know nothing about the case. I did send you the link to the petition, but you know nothing about it. And here you just go out and say, I explained right in the beginning, okay, that he's been held for 3 months, that we haven't heard anything. I didn't say anything about conviction. I said 4 to 12 years, so obviously you're a lawyer. You should know if I'm saying 4 to 12 years, he probably hasn't been convicted yet, because I'm sure they sentence people about 14 seconds after they convict them in Indonesia. But whatever.
Been convicted yet, and he hasn't been properly...
I'm going to go to concordance next, though, Gary, and then we'll come back to you. Concordance.
So, Gary, just, strictly pragmatic. If you really do want to affect a change, and I think this is something you could absolutely do here, but it's not going to be on the international level, is I think your friend, looking back, would almost certainly not have ever gone to Indonesia knowing that this is the kind of treatment that they give to people. Maybe it is a matter of spreading the word to people who are English tutors. I mean,
amazing. Yeah, right? So I should go out to all the English tutors and with a picture of derived energy, right? That's my real, that would be my special mission in life. I should go out to all the English tutors I can find in the world and show them a picture of derived energy and explain to them how he made a mistake. And I, explain to them further that it's not just about marijuana, okay? I just want to let you know that if you say something against Islam, you're also going to end up in one of these dungeons. And the fact is, if they just don't like you, okay, you do something they just don't like, all right? Who knows what they can plant on you? I'm just saying you can disappear really quick. So yeah, I'll go inform all of them. I'm all for doing that. I'll do that whatever way I can, but I'm really not going to go door to door, shithead. And the very reason I got on this stupid show was because I thought this is a case that people should be aware of. All right, that they should. I certainly assumed that atheist people would realize that, yeah, if we could friggin' put some pressure on these crazy societies to tone it down a few notches, that would be super cool. But that was too reasonable an expectation, because atheists are motherfucking debaucherous, nihilist, motherfucking cunt sacks of shit. Yeah.
Raise awareness, absolutely, and have it be a voluntary thing. Look, we're not...
Yeah, so voluntarily do everything. So why the fuck have any government at all, right? So you're a fucking anarchist after all. All your preaching-fying about this is getting destroyed and that's happening, how we need laws and we need this and we need that because this... No, it's not. We don't need any of that shit. We'll just get everybody to do it voluntarily. Let's have voluntary vaccination. Who the fuck are you to tell me, fucker? Jesus. No, we shouldn't try to do anything as a collective or as a civilization. No, that would be stupid to have law that said something like, let's have rational policies, let's have rational diplomatic relations with other countries and have extradition agreements that certainly guarantee us the right to get our people out of their crazy hands.
Coming to Indonesia, we're not going to teach your people English, and that's going to put you at a disadvantage in the world.
Well, no, it would put them at a bigger disadvantage in the world as if, we shut down some portion of our diplomatic relations where we said, okay, countries can't have an export license. They can't do this. They can't do that. They can't, we can sanctions, punishments. Nothing wrong with doing that to discourage bad behavior. And in my opinion, it's outrageously bad behavior to throw a British citizen, a decent man, in a dungeon for smoking a joint. You cunt.
That's how change happens. I don't see any reason why.
Oh yeah, it's never political. Change doesn't happen through politics. So don't try to do anything political. So every time you open your mouth about some political subject or the need for political action or government action, I'll just say a big, oh, why don't you just shut the fuck up?
Well, I think you have to have, I think you have to apply a whip or a carrot to change behavior, and Indonesia will not change its behavior unless we reward them for changing it or we punish them for not changing it. So I'm just saying that
That's exactly what Concordance is saying here, is apply a financial pressure by actually suggesting that people don't go to Indonesia.
Why?
Exactly what I'm arguing for. That's right. Well, that's why I have making videos called Indonesia Sucks, and the subject would be, this is pressure, right? Let's talk about how much Indonesia sucks, all right? And so that would have been an interesting conversation to have, whether people should buy off people, pay bribes, raise like $1 million to give to Indonesia in some secret fund way so they could get derived energy out, or whether they should say, no, I'm not going to deal with these assholes. I'm not going to pay them for this. As John Wayne would say, I ain't going to pay them for that. Said that in a movie once. No, he's going to kick him in the ass.
No, but that's like suggesting people don't go to Walmart. Okay, it's a cheap vacation destination. They think they're going to be safe. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, so by Thunderfoot's logic, let's abolish the minimum wage, okay, because that's draconian government interference. That's too oppressive. So let's not have a minimum wage, and let's just talk to everybody and explain how they shouldn't go to Walmart because it only pays people 50 cents an hour. Right? And you can keep making that argument till you're dead, and guess what? The argument won't matter because people are going to act in their own self-interest. So again, it means nothing. What you're suggesting is stupid. Okay? Change can't happen that way. You can't voluntarily get people not to buy lottery tickets. Some things you have to say, you just can't do this. It isn't in your own interest, you fucktards. You can't understand that? No, of course you can't.
Saying that this is sort of entrapment, this is sort of a circumstance where you lull people into a certain sense of they're in control and they're not in control, and in any minute they're going to be completely out of control and they're going to be as bewildered as anybody, saying, why did I not realize this? Everybody told me these people were crazy and now I find out they really are.
Alright, so that's a great line, right? Okay, you make a mistake, you find out you were wrong, okay, you didn't do anything really bad, but now you're stuck in a horrible situation, and you say, yeah, goddamn, I should have listened to those people. These people are fucking crazy. Now, their response to me calling Indonesia crazy is basically to defend Indonesia. So watch this.
I think you can understand this, though, Gary. Just, again, strictly pragmatically. You will be tilting at windmills.
Right, it's tilting at windmills to try to do anything political. I mean, amazing. So, like I said, when he argues for funding for the science foundations or all this other stuff that involves government action, I should just mock him and ridicule him and saying, what the hell are you doing? Why don't you just convince people that your science projects are important and let them voluntarily give you money? Why don't you wait till people voluntarily want to give you money? You fucker. Shit, weasel bastard. You shouldn't do anything political. You shouldn't try to do it in a big way. You should only try to do it in little, stupid, inefficient, and ineffective ways. And that's your pragmatic solution. The fact is, this problem would be solved in a day, or 2 or 3, if you fuckers would get off your ass and do something. But you've chosen, no, I'm going to mock it, ridicule it, and blame the victim. That's all. You suck, as I pointed out.
If you try to go the State Department route, I think directly going to people who are planning on taking jobs in Indonesia, it would not be hard to find these people.
Well, I'm going to go for me.
It wouldn't be hard to find these people. You hear that? I'm supposed to go find people who are going to take jobs in Indonesia and try to really talk them out of it. To really explain to them, yep, I know you're going to make 80 grand a year. I know it's twice the amount of money you can make anywhere else. But you really don't want to do this because you're going to have a weak moment. You're going to be at some hookertorium, and you're going to be a little drunk, and then somebody's going to say there's a hookah room, and you're going to go in there, and you end up in jail for 12 years. Don't do it, buddy. No, I think it's just better to say we protect our citizens from uncivilized barbarians. We don't let our citizens be burned at the stake by crazy fucking Muslim lunatics who are outside the realm of reasonable judgment when it comes to justice and proportionality. They don't know what justice and proportionality are as concepts. They're basically lunatics, and we should protect our citizens from fucking lunatics.
Personally, no, I don't understand it, okay? I don't understand doing nothing. So me personally, I'm not voting for any candidate ever again who doesn't want to take this civilization thing seriously and say, yes, we're going to use our power. We're the biggest guy on the block. We can reform these countries. We don't have to accept the way they are. We don't have to accept being judged by religious lunatics. Okay, and I don't think we should be doing business with them. I don't think we should reward them for this insidious and insane behavior.
Gary, didn't you just say that America deserved to be bombed with drone strikes to improve it or something?
Yes, I just did. That's right, exactly. We should be taught a lesson.
Isn't that amazing? I mean, yeah, I'm making the point that we have earned it. We've earned punishment. Germany, any country who isn't guilty of it should punish us for Guantanamo Bay. We should pay a price for it. It's a preposterously insane and uncivilized policy. The whole United Nations, or all of it that's not in the Security Council and all that shit, should walk the fuck out and say, we're not going to walk into the United Nations until you change this, you crazy bastards. What do you mean? You can just arbitrarily say I'm not a human being and fucking torture me and not even put me on trial and not even have written charges? You're just going to say it? Fuck you! Yeah, I made that as clear as I could make it. Oh, it is just hopeless. So anyway, there's still some minutes left here, so I will end this one here and call it a 2 and do 3 when I get around to it. But man, there just isn't much to like about human beings. Especially atheists on YouTube. A brand of especially shitty human being. Ooh, I forgot the digital effect. Whoops. Until I have the contrast up because I figured it would help.